As a doctor that's applied successfully for 2 medical specialties, intensive care and renal, I'm very familiar with the process of applying and interviewing for medical specialties. I myself have been through this process many times and made many mistakes along the way. In this video, I want to talk about a common pitfall in medical specialty interview and tell you the one thing that you must do in order to maximize your chance at interview success. The first thing to point out is that once you've been shortlisted for the interview, your portfolio score will have very little to nothing to do with the final score that determines whether you get the job or not. Let's take the IMT application scoring system for example. You can see that the final score that determines your ranking is fully dependent on your performance in the interview itself, and the portfolio score does not feature anywhere in the final mark. And now let's take the registrar application scoring system as an example. You can see that the portfolio is worth only 20% of the final mark, and the rest of the 80% is totally dependent on your interview performance. The final score is fully determined or mostly determined by your performance during the interview day itself. This means that if you got a good portfolio score, this does not mean that you're more likely to get the job. And similarly, if you have an average portfolio score, this does not mean that you're less likely to get the job. This is very important because whether you get a job or not is fully dependent on how you answer your questions during those 2 hours of interview. No one is going to understand how good the QI project audit, research paper, or how good a candidate you are if you do not deliver the answer in a way that is effective and stands out. Similarly, if you have an average portfolio but are able to deliver your answers in a way that stands out, you might be able to get a better score than someone who has got a better portfolio than you. There are a few good ways of delivering a very effective answer, but many ways of delivering a very average or poor answer. So what is the one thing that I recommend? Yes, you can practice with consultants and registrars all you want. When I attended an interview course, I was sat in a room with 9 other people, listening to them deliver their answer to a question that the interview course instructor had given. And I was very struck by how many people gave very similar answers or very similar answer styles to the answer that I had prepared for that very same question. And I was even more struck by how average the answer that sounded very good in my head had sounded when another person had delivered their answer. Once you hear a strong answer or well-crafted answer from another candidate, it helps you understand what a good response should sound like. And of course, the course instructor will teach you how to structure a good answer, and you'll be able to score more marks if you just subtly change the structure of your answer. Now let's look at this graph of the final interview scores of applicants who had applied for the renal specialty. As you can see, the median score is about 79. If you're able to improve your score by just say 10 more marks, by improving the structure of your answer by attending an interview course, then you have pushed your score up to 89, which is easily within the top 25%. I think medical interview courses are so underestimated and so underused. If you have applied for a medical specialty interview and are shortlisted, the best use of your money and your time at this point is to apply for medical interview course. And don't just apply for one, even consider applying for 2 or 3. And now watch this video for insights into the mind of an intensive care doctor. Good luck, and I hope that helps.